Yeah, this one's good too. 3 out of 5. Let's cut to the point. There just isn't any Kirby game better than Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Straight up, every single element of the game was done in such a perfect way, and I'll be more than happy then to go over each one of them with you guys and compare them to the other loved Kirby games and show you why they only improved the GBA masterpiece known as Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. The GBA was pretty much a pocket-sized Super Nintendo in terms of how many buttons and inputs it had, and slightly improved or equal color ranges, and those pixels, man. This kind of outlines to the main sprite with a brute, black, beautiful double pixel line to make sure everything the player needs to focus on is obvious, and besides those, the wonderful, rich scrolling backgrounds of the different regions of Mirror World, which I'll also discuss later. And the HUD displaying everything you need quickly and charmingly. Every single sprite this game has is stylized and is delivering what is, in my opinion, the best the Kirby series ever looked. Not a fan of whatever this color or shape was. Nope, not at all. Disgusting. Okay, not disgusting. Relax, but... And as usual, all characters, enemies, and abilities had all the little polished bits and animations you can expect. Maybe this game didn't have as much as others, but... which can kind of be blamed to it not being developed by HAL, but actually being passed to another company flagship. The style really just sets out what's just scratching the surface of how amazing this game really is. Flagship decided to make this game a very different thing compared to the others so far, that worked on a linear level progression, one after the other, set in order, and in the earlier games not even a hub world to track back to old levels. Amazing Mirror throws that out the door and gives Kirby an open world, pretty much, to roam around truly however they like. And once you clear the first available Mirror Shard, you use these switches to make gates from the center of a rainbow route, from which you can just go to try and seek each of the 8 mirror piece holders, well, 7 then, but still. The reason this is more important than a simple change of turns is because how it makes for an almost Mega Man-like effect where abilities from regions like the Ice World can be taken to be used in the depths of the volcano that is Mustard Mountain. This sounds simple, but the way all levels are designed is that it's not just one ability that can hit the one switch like some puzzles in Star Allies that require specific ability combos. Also, if you're playing Star Allies, I recommend turning off any tutorial tips after your first few levels. The game has many more moments of challenge while you're playing like this. Anyway, Amazing Mirror's puzzles aren't the only aspect designed to work well with multiple abilities. There's a second half to this process. Yeah, they're meant to be easy games, and so is this one, but this game also has something most other Kirbys don't necessarily have, maybe besides some early ones with post-game stuff and an extra gameplay mode. But this game really has something modern games that use other methods of health and hits, like bars instead of points. It delivers pixel-accurate hitboxes, both on enemies and the player, and you can usually cheese most things without taking damage, and not just damage boosting like you can do in 9% of Star Allies, for example. Getting hit will always remove Kirby's current ability, and if the dropped power-up hits spikes, it's gone forever immediately. This brings a lot more pressure and challenge to holding onto a precious ability like Throw, UFO, or Smash, which are all very powerful yet rare, so once you find them, you want to remember where they spawn and try and retrack to them and carry them with you as often as possible. Using hit points instead of the lay meaningless bars that aren't meant to tell you anything besides dead, almost dead, and perfectly fine. And each one's frequency displayed in this current graph I don't know, doodled. In Amazing Mirror, that's kind of similar, but you have a bit more of an idea of what the risks are. Here in the start of the game, before getting extra heart containers, I can just mash through whatever, but as I progress, I can be a bit more free. But this is the stress frequency chart on Amazing Mirror, and it's always kind of high, even in perfectly fine status, because of the punishment of losing an ability and staying pretty defenseless, as this Kirby doesn't have much ways to damage without an ability compared to Star Allies, where the jump can kill. Again, I do think Star Allies is a good game, and it's a good Kirby game for sure, but Amazing Mirror offers so much more in my opinion for all kinds of players, the bypassing casual that just wants to play a couple levels, finish the game and move on, or the enthusiast looking to dig deep into replay value and completion, and the speedrunner because, well, that's just another league I can't really talk about, but I recommend just watching a speedrun if you know this game enough. The final point I want to address right now is the level progression. You'd think with a linear level progression, most Kirby games will manage to have a consistent and controlled feel to the stages, but I gotta say, for example, Star Allies felt all over the place, having one level in a forest, and the next in a cave, and the next in space, and a door within it right back to a forest. It feels all over the place. But enough recurring places that I think it's mostly weird that they didn't just place them in a better order. Amazing Mirror has themes for the main parts of an area, the general entrance, and transitions. For example, there's the deep melting depths of the volcano, but there's also the feet of the mountain, and those are linked to other caves like Cabbage Cavern using this setting, but a different one is used at the surface levels of Olive Ocean, because Mirror World is a big planet you explore and the world map is showing exactly what terrain is where in a relative sense. It's a much more memorable adventure, and it helps the player memorize and figure out where they are in case they don't want to rely on the map, which is also another self-imposed challenge that just doesn't exist in other games. And that's kind of all I have to say for now. I don't want to discourage fans from Star Allies. It is a great game and it has many moments that I'll probably never forget. When you get to a very weird moment in the extra stages of Star Allies, you'll know what I mean. That was absolutely shocking, and for those who want a spoiler, click the card for an unlisted video of what happened. Thanks everyone for hearing me ramble about a game some of you have even watched me play during my Let's Play era, though I won't link it here because, ew, Let's Play era Boogs, this. And yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, short little video, bye!